Hello Toastmasters and Mr. Ramesh in particular. Evaluating Mr. Ramesh is a challenging job. It may have the subjects talking to Toastmasters about Toastmasters might seem like an easy job, but it's really a very, very tough assignment. It is like preaching to the choir. It is like making Hindus out of Hindus and Christians out of Christians. It's not easy. It was supposed to be a radio talk show where you cannot see either the host or the guest. But in these lights, when both are facing the audience, that could not be achieved. It would have been better, in my opinion, say if you were hearing me on a radio, my evaluation, you will not see my face and the lights should be off. Only then would you focus on the voice. What was happening was, Mr. Ramesh was making eye contact with all of you, and you in return were making eye contact. Most of you are Toastmasters. Anybody who is not a Toastmaster here? Coming for the first time? Thank you. That this particular large number of people who are coming for the first time would have been very helpful for the reaction if there was time for question and answer. The subject about Toastmasters is so vast and it's been going on for so many years. I personally believe 5 to 7 minutes doesn't do justice to it. To talk about Toastmasters itself needs 5 to 7 minutes. And then as the few questions that the host asked takes another couple of 2-3 minutes. Where is the time for the audience, the listeners, to ask questions, which is the crux of this talk altogether, as to how did his speech impact on people who know nothing about Toastmasters. I'm afraid due to the setup and the shortage of time, that could not be achieved. How was the Toastmasters mentioned in the speech? Was it brought in smoothly and naturally, or did it seem forced like an advertisement? It was nothing else but Toastmasters. It had to be subtle. But the way it was set up, right from the beginning, the questions that were asked, if the questions were asked, Mr. TKRamesh, what are you doing these days? What are your interests? Taken from a little side tangent kind of an approach, would have helped him to be subtle about it. But the questioning was very direct, so that subtlety was lost. And if I may say, had I not been familiar with Toastmasters, if I was a novice, and I tried to do that, and I tried not to look at him, and I tried to look at the audience and see what impact it's happening, I would certainly have got interested in Toastmasters. Comments on the information presented. Did the speaker perform a service for the audience? I would say yes. Especially that audience that is not familiar with Toastmasters. He did give a lot of information about it. And I would say that the process of giving information on TM and the questions from the host, there was really no time. I wish there was time left to get the real impact from the people who are first time visitors and and know little about Toastmasters. And assuming you knew nothing about this organization beforehand, would you be favorably impressed? As I said, I tried to assume that and I was impressed. What else might the speaker have said to promote Toastmasters? Personal experience, personal challenges, personal weaknesses, and how you face them. There is really no time for that. So I would again say that ironically, even if he had spoken about his personal experiences, most of us are familiar with him and familiar with his track record. It is the impact only comes if something you don't know and you get to know. But there's little that he can say that most of us don't know. So it was a very tough assignment, very, very tough assignment. But I would say, considering the tough assignments, the brevity of time, the unfavorable or incorrect setting, I think he still did a great job. I don't know, I would leave it to him if he wants to try doing it again with lights off and facing back and bringing the people from the audience who are first timers up front and extending the time a little bit so that the question and answer session will be. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinod, for the apt evaluation.